Hi, welcome back to your channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant. I'm your host, Dr. Ghosh, and I'm back today with another inspirational story for you. Friends, mankind today is facing its biggest battle against the infamous 19 virus. And I'm a firm proponent of the concept of difference to one. The infamous COVID 19 virus has decimated mankind to a large extent. Millions have lost their livelihoods, and many more millions have lost their lives. It is in these conditions that those of us who are fortunate enough to have escaped the side effects of the virus need to stand up and be counted. Please, the present conditions, think about it, need those of us who have been relatively unaffected to be counted in the battle against the infamous COVID 19 virus and make a difference to someone in our community, someone who has been economically or medically affected by this COVID 19 virus. Your small and act of kindness will go a long way in mankind's battle against the infamous virus and make a difference to someone. However, before you stand up and be counted and make a difference to someone in your community, it's also very, very important that you remain safe yourself. Please follow social distancing norms, avoid going out unless very necessary, avoid crowded places, always wear a mask, maintain hygiene standards, wash your hands frequently with sanitizers, and ensure that you keep yourself and your family safe. Because if you are affected, then you are the person who needs help. Forget about making a difference to someone else's life. So, first be safe yourself and then take steps to help those who have been affected by the COVID 19 virus. Friends, for those of you who are coming on first time to the channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant, let me give you a brief history. We started in 2015 as a private Facebook group where we invited people, and today that group on Facebook has about 820 members. On WhatsApp, we have another 120 members additionally, and on YouTube, which we started in May 2020, today we have about 354 subscribers and 5,000 views. Our mission is to change the thought process and strengthen the moral fiber of the present and coming generations so that they lived by time honored human values and principles. And the path to their success is smooth. Having said that, for those of you who are already my subscribers, a heartfelt thank you. And for those of you who are coming on to the first time, I request you to subscribe to the channel so that you will get an update every time I release another inspirational story for you on this channel. Also, feel free to share these stories with your friends and family, as all these children stories are children friendly, and it will help us in our mission of ensuring that the present and coming generations live by time honored principles and human values. Coming to our inspirational story, the inspirational person I'm speaking to you about is a Russian submariner who prevented thermonuclear disaster twice in his career and prevented World War III. The world came very close to thermonuclear disaster twice, especially during 61-62 during the Cuban Missile Crisis. In 2000, while investigating the Cuban crisis, the Rus- in which the Russian and American governments came close to a thermonuclear war, the American authorities stated that they were closer to thermonuclear World War III than they thought at that point of time. And it is the act of courage of officers like Vasily Alexandrovich Arkhipov of the Russian Navy that World War III was averted. An acknowledgement coming from that level of a secretary in the American government speaks volumes of the courage of Russian submariner Vasily Alexandrovich Arkhipov. Vasily Alexandrovich Arkhipov was born on 30th January 1926 in Moscow. He was born to a peasant family. He was educated in the Pacific Higher Naval School and he also participated in the Sino-Japanese War in August 1945, serving as a minesweeper. He transferred to the Caspian Higher Naval School and graduated in 1947. From 1947 onwards, he served in the submarine service on boats in the Black Sea, in the Northern and Baltic fleets of the Soviet Navy. Two incidences I would like to share with you which highlight the courage and determination of Vasily Alexandrovich Arkhipov, who later went on to become a vice admiral in the Soviet fleet. It was 1961 and this incident is famous as the K-19 incident. He was appointed deputy commander and executive officer on board the new Hotel class ballistic missile submarine. They were undertaking exercise in the southeast coast of Greenland when the nuclear reactor coolant system failed. Radio communications also went down with Moscow. Because of the leak in the nuclear reactor, temperature rose up to 800 degrees Celsius. Captain of the submarine, Zateyev, ordered the seven-member engineering crew to find an alternative solution immediately, pending a thermonuclear meltdown. Men of the engineering crew of the submarine, along with Arkhipov, worked for extended periods of time in the nuclear submarine reactor room. Finally, they were able to set up an alternate coolant system which cooled down the nuclear submarine and prevented a thermonuclear meltdown. All the seven engineering officers and divisional head of the engineering unit of the submarine died within a month of this incident. And over the next few years, 14 additional members died. The K-19 was christened as the Widowmaker. Vasily Alexandrovich Archipov's actions on board the K-19 submarine and his courage displayed were recognized by his superiors and admired by his men. Later, on 27 October 1962, we are referring to the Cuban crisis. Group of 11 US Navy destroyers and aircraft carrier USS Randolph were cruising in the Pacific Ocean. They located a diesel-powered nuclear-armed Foxtrot class submarine B-59 in international waters on which Vasily Alexandrovich Arkhipov was stationed. The USN group, consisting of the 11 destroyers and aircraft carrier, started dropping depth charges onto the submarine to force the submarine to surface. The submarine lost contact with Moscow, and the B-59 submarine on which Arkhipov was stationed started to hide in deeper waters, making communication impossible with Moscow. The submarine captain, Valentin Savitsky, suspected a war had broken out as the American destroyer and aircraft carrier group was constantly bombarding them with depth charges, and he wanted to respond with a nuclear torpedo being launched. The protocol on board B-59 submarine on which Arkhipov was based required that three officers had to sign off on a launch of a nuclear missile. That was the political officer Ivan, the captain of the sub Valentin Savitsky, and also Arkhipov. Arkhipov was the flotilla commodore and executive officer on board of B-59. He dissented. He did not agree to the launch of the nuclear missile, despite the political officer and his captain putting pressure on him to launch the nuclear missile. He, Arkhipov, courageously stood his ground and did not accept the launch of a nuclear missile. He wanted to surface, establish contact with Moscow, take the orders, and then only proceed with launch of a nuclear missile. This prevented the launch of a nuclear missile against American forces, which, if it had been launched during the Cuban Missile Crisis, would have resulted in a thermonuclear attack by the US forces, and World War III would have come and wiped out mankind to a large extent. The submarine, being a diesel submarine, evading American carrier group, felt low on its batteries, AC system failed. There was tremendous heat buildup and buildup of carbon dioxide, and the crew also started feeling the effects of oxygen scarcity on the B-59 submarine. They surfaced amid the US carrier group and headed back for Moscow. The world had come extremely close to a thermonuclear all out war, which would have resulted in World War III, and survival of mankind would have been very difficult. Post this incident, Arkhipov continued to serve on multiple other submarine groups in in the Russian Navy. He became a rear admiral in 1975, a vice admiral in 1981, and retired with full honors in the mid 1980s. He died in 1998 due to kidney cancer, probably due to the incident on board the K-19 Widowmaker in 1961. In 2017, he was awarded the Future of Life Award by the Future of Life Institute, which recognizes exceptional measures at deep personal risk and no award to self across the globe. And this was received by the family of Vasily Alexandrovich Arkhipov. Friends, Alexander Androvich Arkhipov Vasily, the Russian submariner who prevented two major nuclear incidents and probably was responsible for preventing World War III. An officer and a gentleman who made a difference in world history. While we all cannot be Vice Admiral Vasily Alexandrovich Arkhipov, who can make a difference to lakhs of life, we all need to stand up in these conditions of mankind's battle against the infamous COVID-19 virus and make a difference to someone in our community. Mankind requires your act of kindness. Do stand up and be counted. And friends, for those of you who are on this video, seeing this video, and have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel to hear inspirational stories. Friends, till we meet again with another inspirational story on your favorite YouTube channel, Generous, Gracious and Gallant. Do stay safe, make a difference to someone in your community, and share the videos with your friends and family. Till we meet again, good luck, all the best, thank you.